Hey guys, Fortune here is from TeamMisplayed here. Now, this is my second time running this because unfortunately my editing software is crap. So, anyways, I've decided to do some post-commentated Devpro duels, as you can see here. And the first duel we got was with Madolche versus Evilswarm. So, let's get into it. So, basically, he summons the Heliotrope first and plays a Mystic Plasma Zone, which is not really common in a Evilswarm deck, so I haven't seen that before. And he sets a card and ends his turn. So, on my turn, I'm basically here to, just look at, see. Basically, I'm playing read between the lines with him and set all along with my Dark Bribe to protect everything and pass off. So it's his turn, and right now he's going to activate Rhoda, and that's I'm not going to negate it with the Dark Bribe because Dark Bribe is important to protecting everything else, and he searches Caster. So here's something that I force him to make a decision on, which in retrospect could have been made better. He summons the Caster, and I let that go through, and he decides to normal summon the Heliotrope. And when that happens, I decide to max C his his Heliotrope summons, giving him the option to attack into me with all his monsters, and then end his turn, or he makes Ophion lets me +1 or not +1, go even on it. So he goes ahead and goes for the Ophion play, and I draw the card and then compulse his monster, which he should have been reading that I was not forcing him, but I was daring him to make the Exceed play instead of attack into me. And basically, I played him to get rid of his Ophion, but in the end, he should have probably attacked with instead. So my turn comes around, and I've got I have Mageline in my hand, so I summon Mageline, knowing I have a Palooza face down. So I search out I searched out the Hoot Cake, and with that, it opens up more plays in my combos. So basically, I activate Palooza and summon both the Pudding Cess and the Hoot Cake that are in my hand. And Pudding Cess was more to get it out of my hand, and I go for the traditional tiramisu play where I just make tiramisu and bounce. And then I make a mistake here because for some reason I didn't think I would have game, but I actually do have game. I should have searched the ticket, but at this point I searched the Chateau instead, not thinking about my play, which is something that a good Yu-Gi-Oh player would do. And I knew for some reason in the back of my head I would have had game if I searched ticket instead, and it was a misplay on my part for not searching it because I realized that with the Dolce Tiramisu out, I can return the Messenger Gelato and the Palooza after activating ticket and search out another Messenger Gelato and search the Chateau and play it and attack for game. And I realized that too late. But another thing that also came into play was he had something in hand based off this attack I did right there. He has either a Trag or a Gores, so I keep going, and I believe I read that it's not Gores because Gores would have been useless since he had Plasma Zone and that one card out. So basically I attack with all three, and he summons the Trag. The reason for this is because he doesn't want to lose the Trag too early, because it's more useful to him in the play later. But he doesn't really play it out until later in the game. So he's sitting on a Tragodia, and he summons Kirkleon to basically give him an XC play. And right now I'm reading and thinking, okay, he's going to summon the Heliotrope, and and the best bet for him was to make something that would get over my tiramisu. And there's not too much in an extra deck that could do that. So I was thinking he was probably going to go for an Ophion play, or he was going to probably go for something that would get my tiramisu. But instead, he makes the Bahamut, and I wasn't expecting it. But at the same time, it was one of those cards where it's actually the best thing for him. I didn't know if he would have had the card in hand, but he apparently showed it by taking my tiramisu, or yeah, taking tiramisu. So basically, he has advantage now with 3 monsters on board, but only 2 to attack with. So basically, I start playing a defensive game and start negating tiramisu's attacks because I'd rather take the 2350 than I would the 2700 right now. So I basically begin playing a very defensive game and play Maxie's, or not Maxie, Car D to basically keep the flow in my hand. And right now he's basically got me locked down to win. And he attacks his Bahamut first, and I choose not to scrap iron, just like I said, because I don't want to take a tiramisu hit. But at the same time, I was trying to read if he had an infestation to attack with the Bahamut first, so that he can get rid of my scrap iron scarecrow. So I was basically playing I was trying to play mind games with him, and he was playing mind games with me. So basically, here I pretty much got nothing left to do but set everything. So I decided to set everything, like I emphasized, and play the card D, so that way I can replenish the hand at least, and end up drawing into tiramisu, or not tiramisu, pudding cess and hoot cake, and hoot cake's gonna help me later, but the pudding cess in my hand's not. So then I tried getting him to summon a monster by setting up big back row, but he doesn't play into it, and basically I go and do the same thing I've been doing constantly, which is constant negation of his attacks. And he's basically got me down to 950 at this point. I've got him to 1,000. So on this next turn, I basically have to come up with some sort of play. So I go searching through my extra deck, and I start thinking between both, or Acid Golem play, because Acid Golem's 3,000 and can beat over Bahamut, and I'm trying to think what I can do to get rid of Bahamut, because if I can get rid of Bahamut, tiramisu is an easier target for me to destroy because I got Lance face down, and basically I'm conflicted on what to do. I know I have targets engraved, so I start off by summoning Hoot Cake and do the play and summon the Mufuel in my Mufuele. I don't know how to pronounce the card. I summon the cat. It's the only other level 3 that I can summon, so I look into my extra deck and figure out which one I'm going to do, and I decide into Acid Golem. Now, there were a couple plays I could have actually done that actually would have helped. I could have made the Tempo, I could have made anything else, but then I decided to just go into a Leviathan Dragon because it's basically a free detach into 2500 and can beat over the Bahamut, which is the important card to get rid of at this point because Bahamut's not really the card you want to run into at most times. So then I destroy Bahamut through Earth. I destroy Bahamut, and the next play I make and then he drops a Trag before I get ahead of myself. He drops another Trag, which makes me think he's got something. So the next play I do, which is not really a questionable one, at the same time questionable, I MST my own Chateau, because I don't want tiramisu to be stronger than my Leviathan Dragon, even though I have Lance face down. But since he dropped the second Trag, it also played into the decision. It also Book of Moon in my hand played in the decision because I'd rather have Book of Moon on the field. So right now he's contemplating what to do, and he goes in and decides to modify the levels of the Trags he's got on his field to 4 so he can make a push for game next turn. And I don't blame him on this part to try to make something happen. But in honesty, there were times where he could have easily have won through just having a play. And I'm not one to criticize because let's face it, I'm a bad player myself. But there was a play that I could have saw earlier, but I would have to go back and review the footage because I'm really bad at remembering a lot of things. So anyway, right now he's contemplating on what to make, and basically I'm trying to think, okay, if I can get him to summon something, I might book a moon it and try something. So he's basically playing into my hand right now, and he makes Dagosto Emerald, and here's where I say, okay, I can't let him have any more advantage through the Dagosto Emerald, so I Torrential Tribute and lance my own Leviathan Dragon, hoping he didn't have a caster or an Heliotrope in hand to kill my Leviathan Dragon. So then he Dark Holes. I don't know why he did this play. This was a bad play on his part. He should have not Dark Holed. And then he summons Tour Guide, and basically I win from there because I just book him the Tour Guide target, and he scoops. So anyway, guys, this is a new segment I'm trying out. I'm gonna be uploading twice a day, and we're going to see how it works. And so anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This has been Fortune Years from Team Misplay, signing out.